You're listening to Desynced Nerds, a Nintendo Switch podcast. This is episode 32, airing on Monday, the 14th of May. We're your hosts. I'm Colin. He's Devon, bringing you all the latest news and hot topics from around the internets. This week, we have rumors, a data mine, and a new Monster Hunter game. But first, Devon, what's your weekend gaming been like? What you been doing?
Wait, spoilers. I was going to surprise reveal that. Didn't you see the obvious buildup in the show notes?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't read the show notes until right now.
Hate you.
Also, that's been there since like this afternoon, so don't you read the show notes?
I read the show notes for the part that I write, which I guess is the exact same thing that you do, so I can't shame you. Anyway, I got Shantae, and I really like that game. I'm definitely going to rage quit it at some point, but in the meantime, it's a very, very pretty game, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely going to rage quit it at some point, just because of like the way the live system works and whatnot. And I will talk about that more like later.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No.
Talk about later.
Well, not this show. It's something that I've not fully dove into yet, so that'll be a later thing.
How like Castlevania difficult is it? Nintendo hard is it?
It's fairly difficult, and the checkpoints are kind of far apart. It's like minute-long segments with checkpoints afterwards.
So like a Sonic game type of thing?
Yeah, exactly. And
or Shovel Knight?
Never actually played Shovel Knight.
Just say yes.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
Yeah, wow, geez. Just like it.
Just like it. Picture perfect. Anyway, save me. What are you doing? What did you do?
Mario Rabbids. I'm on the fourth and final world, which is great because the DLC was supposed to come out in spring 2018, and it's basically summer. At least here it is. So
it feels like summer, as it's 88 degrees.
It's actually hotter in Portland than it is in Dallas right now. Just wild. Maybe because we're 2 hours ahead. No, I don't think it hit 92 today. Whatever, not important. I can't wait to finish Mario Rabbids so that I can be ready for that Donkey Kong DLC. I also have shipping tonight, arriving tomorrow, Battle Chasers Night War. So that's exciting.
You definitely have time to play that.
And that's all I got going. That's all I did. Oh, I tried the ARMS demo. I forgot to put that in here. I do not like it. I do not like it at all. It felt like it was about as responsive as a sweet potato. I'll give it some credit. Sometimes I was able to make it work. Sometimes it just laughed at me. But then it would randomly work the next time I tried to do the same exact motion. So forget that. I'm not about that life.
Were you playing with motion controls?
Yeah, with the two Joy-Con separated.
Yeah. You should try it again with buttons.
With just button? You can play with just buttons?
Yeah, you can play it without motion controls.
I might actually enjoy that.
I still don't like the game even with button controls, but it might be better for you. And I know you need more games to play. You've only got like, what, 8 pre-ordered? Actually, it's down to 7 now because of Night War is shipping.
The game also has like a 30-hour long how long to beat on the internets. So that's cool. That's what I needed. Thank you, Colin, for doing that to yourself.
Thank you, past Colin. I really want to play that game because of how gorgeous it is, but I know that I don't have time for that. I don't have time for the like 10 to 15 hour Shantae game that I have, so.
Yep. So that's what I got going on. Anyway, I'm ready to move on. You ready to move on? Let's move on.
Fun.
Hey, on to the news. Street Fighter Anniversary Edition adds training and versus modes to all games.
So apparently, because people complained that this wasn't a thing, they've added it in. But also, this wasn't a thing. I can't see a world where you don't have versus mode in Street Fighter. Like that's the
point of it, basically.
Yeah, right. Like they just had campaign modes in a bunch of them, and nobody actually plays Street Fighter for the campaign mode except for you and your special. Like, I don't know. Anyway, oh, and then they also added a bunch of online, or detailed the ones that have online modes, which are Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, which are all of the, like, tentpole esportsy versions. And then the other ones are just, like, slightly minor changes to the old ones, with just, like, different casts and whatnot. And then finally, on the note of that game, the preload is currently live, and it releases on the 29th of May, so in 2 weeks, which is cool. I'm still on the fence about this. Like, I want a good 2D fighter to play with the nerds, but I just don't know if this is it. There's actually, we'll talk. Oh no, we won't talk about it because it got announced last week and I forgot to put it in the show notes. Yeah, there's another one. I don't know. I'm debating. I would love to hear what people think. I want to hear what 2D fighters people like. But anyway, unless you randomly started caring about Street Fighter, let's move on.
No, I'm totally ready to go on. Yeah. EA has some big plans for the Switch. What do we got?
They stated that they expect the Switch to hit total 30 million lifetime sales this year, and they stated this during their financial investor Q&A, which to me implies like there's no reason to make that statement unless you're also going to later announce stuff for the Switch. And I mean, we've seen vague rumblings from them that is like, oh yeah, we really believe in that as a platform, and we think that it's got a lot of potential, but we've not actually seen anything besides FE and FIFA 2018, which are both, let's be honest, especially in the States, they're not going to move the needle at all. So I'm excited. Maybe we'll finally get your much desired NHL. Yeah.
I think what this more says is probably Madden.
Yeah,
because I feel like Madden is their golden child, their golden egg from the goose.
Yeah, that's definitely the one that's, especially in the States, bigger. So, who knows? I was trying to be hopeful for you.
I mean, I've given up on people trying to care about NHL. I did see it's not EA, I don't think, but I did see there was like a leak rumor, whatever, where they put like Battlefield 4 on GameStop, put them on the Switch shelves.
Oh, COD Blops. COD?
What?
Black Ops 3?
Yeah, Black Ops 4, the fourth
4,
one. Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
The one that's not out for anything. Yeah. But anyway, that's not really relevant. Nintendo announced their competitor list for the Smash Invitational, and we got some weird ones.
They're not weird ones if you know anything about the Smash scene, which you very clearly don't. Anyway, so yeah, MK Leo 0.
Is Melee really the one that everybody just plays? Nobody plays any of the new ones?
People play Melee and they play the newest one. They don't really play Brawl. So anyway, let me get there.
Okay.
MK Leo, Zero, Armada, Abadongo, Plup, Mr. R, Lucky, and Mango. So yeah, as we alluded to, half of these players are Melee exclusive players. And so that to me sounds like they're trying to kind of court these players away. And I'm trying to divine from tea leaves here, but I can't tell if this means that they are going to care about the competitive scene. I want them to care about the competitive scene, but I just don't know if that's a fair takeaway from this.
This just feels like a PR stunt to me.
Yeah, but why involve a bunch of Melee era players if it's just a PR stunt?
I mean, how long is the list of the new game players that could make it out to this thing?
Absolutely.
Maybe there were like 4 dudes, and then they were like, ah, crap, now what do we do?
Smash,
you can't have just 4 dudes come out.
Smash 4 was on one of the main events at EVO, I believe. So I mean, it's got a thriving competitive scene. It's not League of Legends, but it's a fighting game. Fighting games are going to be niche by nature. So I don't know. I want to believe because I want a new competitive Smash, and so therefore it's real to me. The other thing, it's important to note that these players will not be getting preview versions. They will not be getting to spend any real time with the game beforehand, so this is going to be a likely very funny discovery process. It didn't specify whether or not they were going to get to play it at the event, but before they compete. So I'm kind of intrigued about that, but that's neither here nor there.
And before they all pick Meta Knight, just to see.
I mean,
all right, let's move on.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Unless you got something else? No, what do you got?
Nothing important. It's...
Oh, okay, let's move on then. Nintendo announced a new tabletop charging stand, and it's a head scratcher.
So you're confused too?
Okay, yeah, big time.
Okay.
I'm glad you said 2, because I was like, okay, it's not just me.
Yeah, I have no idea. So it releases on the 13th, or the 13th of July. That's an important thing. It'll be $19.99. So basically, you set it in the dock, and then you can angle the Switch up or down based on whatever you want, and then it has a port that plugs into the back of it that then connects through the dock into the bottom of the Switch. And yeah, as we have both stated, I don't understand this.
Just a solid WAT What are you doing? Why? Why is this necessary?
Yeah, I just don't understand. I can't see an environment where I would want to be plugged in, but not just plug it in. Like how often? I don't know. Maybe people are tabletop moding more than I do, but
Tabletop mode, and you want to plug in like your battery bank or whatever?
your battery bank, or you want to play, you want to plug into the wall.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't play tabletop in mode enough to actually care about this. So
But even if you did, isn't the Hori stand it collapses to like almost flat, and it's cheaper, I think.
yeah, but the Hori stand is third party, and we know that third party bricks consoles.
But it's just a chunk of plastic. I think it's fine. I think it'll
Nope.
be safe.
Nope, third party stuff bricks your consoles.
Does it avoid the warranty if you use a Hori stand?
No, they fixed that actually. That was
Oh, okay.
that
I
almost
can't say
made it
that
into the
anymore.
show notes. Yeah. So anyway,
Anyway, let's move along. Capcom announces that they want to compete with AAA developers globally. Well, you better start releasing games globally then, maybe.
I found this very very late in the show writing process, but I put it right here very strategically because it leads into the next two things very well.
I watched you at it.
Yeah, okay. So there was two choice quotes out of the whole big statement that they made. While the Japanese home video game market is sizable, it is less than 10% of the size of the global market. So obviously they need to expand, which I don't know why they're confused by this. Like, we want more sales, so let's continue to sell in a very limited subset of the world. Like, why? Capcom, I love you, but why?
It's like a paste eating contest between Nintendo and Capcom. You know, my money is on Nintendo, but man, Capcom is eating a lot of paste.
Oh, it's too real. And then the second piece that I'm also excited about here is esports, which has been garnering attention throughout the globe, provides the perfect opportunity for us to compete on the world stage. So, woo! Between the Street Fighter stuff getting expanded features, something that we'll talk about in 2 news articles, and just general esportsiness, I'm excited for these 2 statements.
Can I move on?
Are
you ready for this?
I mean, I'm not, but
I think we have you to thank for this personally. I think you cried so loud that they were like, "Yeah, okay, just to shut Devon up, we have Monster Hunter Generations coming to the Nintendo Switch."
I'm so excited. So this is the Monster Hunter Double Cross that Asia's had for a while, and as Colin said, I've been whining about incessantly. It's going to.
So real quick, Double Cross and Generations confirm the same exact thing?
No, so Generations is the 3DS version. Double Cross is like what I have found is that it's like the Reaper of Souls to the base game.
So Double Cross is an expansion to Generations.
It's an expansion plus the base game, so it's all kind of tied in together. Okay. So, for people that didn't play D3, it was an expansion pack that released afterwards. So, I don't know. It may be the best-selling video game of all time, but I'm sure there's people that haven't heard of it or don't know what's going on there. Especially if that travesty of a base release. Anyway, so it releases on the 28th. Pre-orders are open now. I have 2 copies pre-ordered.
It will have coming to me.
I'm just like, shut up, you're going to play this with me. Shut up, you don't get to say. No, actually, Abigail wanted the second copy, so. But on that note, it will have local wireless as well as online multiplayer, which is exciting. And if you have the 3DS copy of Generations, you can pull your save data out of it, and it'll work straight on the Switch, so. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. I still don't understand why it took them so long to realize that maybe selling games to everyone in the world, something that like, according to them, the Japanese game market is less than 10% of the global market, so they're just not.
See, not every company is in it to make money. Some are just in there to make confusing decisions, like Nintendo. That's they stopped eating paint chips long enough to realize that they could make real money here if they just expanded a little bit. I don't know. I feel like when it came out to South Korea, I feel like I was on record saying it will come here eventually. They will bring it here eventually.
But why Korea first? Why South Korea? There are less.
Who knows? They have their reasons. Their paint chip reasons or real reasons. Doesn't matter. They have their reasons.
There are less people in South Korea than there are English speakers who own Switches in the rest of the world. Like,
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying they've got reasons. We just aren't privy to them. Maybe the reasons were screw that. I don't want to give Devon anything. It could, who knows?
we want to feel like they really want it.
Yeah. Yeah. We want to hear them cry for it first, and then we'll give it to them, and then we'll look like heroes.
For
That's
like
what they're doing.
6 months.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, so this is the thing. You should go pre-order it.
Do it now. It's on Amazon or whatever, I'm sure. Further making good on their promise, Capcom is running a tournament series.
Yep, so there will be 3 different distinct tournaments from the upcoming Legacy Collection that we talked about earlier. Each one will have a prize pool totaling $7,000, which is not terrible. I mean, it's no Evo, but it's not terrible prize money. They will be happening in Florida, Ontario, California, which I was very confused about because there's an Ontario in California, and then finally Toronto. So those are cool.
Is that Toronto, California? Or is that Toronto, Canada?
Right? Exactly. No, that one's actually Ontario. Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
It's Ontario, yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah,
I say it like American.
It's not Mario. It's not Ontario.
Anyway, that's a holy war you don't want to get involved in. So yeah, this is a thing. I'm excited that they're moving into the tournaments as a more serious thing. I don't want to continue to see companies be like Nintendo with Smash and just kind of pretend that it doesn't exist. And when they do acknowledge that it exists, they poo-poo on it. Like, so really what I want to see here is I want to see Street Fighter V or Street Fighter VI, depending on what they do, taken more seriously on a tournament scene. So, big dreams. I'm just setting myself up to be disappointed again because Capcom.
Yay. Anyway, let's move on. Splatoon and rumor silliness. What do we got now?
This is the dumbest thing I've ever read. It was actually so stupid. And just from top to bottom, I really don't actually even know what to take away from this. But I thought it was funny, so here we are. So a news site ran a story that the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine would have an announcement about Splatoon 2 news coming out on the 9th that will, and I quote, shock the world. Which, I don't know if you remember this. I actually linked this first news article I linked this news article to you when it first came out, and I was just like super frustrated because I don't like that kind of hyperbole. It's just frustrating to me.
We had like a huge, I won't say like a argument, but we had like a huge discussion about the Switch Online news, because you were like, it was supposed to be amazing. They said it was going to be amazing, and I didn't see that, so I wasn't overhyped for it. So I was like, yeah, the Switch Online stuff was great. We just went back and forth with this. And it's because this hyperbole, I don't know why. I don't know why they do this.
Set expectations sky high, and then they release what they released. And
mundane, yeah, exactly what you would have expected had you not read that article and then not been disappointed.
It's the bare minimum.
Yeah. But
anyway, so Nintendo then directly responded to the rumor, supposedly. I can't actually find a real source for this, except this is one of those things that people just run with, and so I don't actually know if this is real. But the quote that was given was, the Japanese weekly magazine in question has not written any article about an announcement related to Splatoon for June 9th. Now, if you're not paying attention really closely, they didn't actually deny that there's going to be an announcement. They just said that weekly magazine in question will not have that article. So that's a thing. And then also, they rarely, if ever, respond to speculation and rumor. They have done it in a few instances where people get it very close, but then aren't quite right. Notably, there was rumors about the Switch being run on Android, to which they shut down. There was another one about the 3DS mode that I don't remember what it is. I don't know. So yeah, they very rarely comment on rumors. And yeah. And then finally, more recently, I think this was like yesterday, the day before, a different magazine, which I've never heard of, Koro, ran a story saying basically the exact same thing about June 9th being a big Splatoon announcement date. And that's where we're at now. So who actually knows? Again, that comment from Nintendo came from a fan site, a Spanish fan site. So this isn't like Nintendo JP or Nintendo NA. This is a Spanish fan site with no sourcing available and no also granted it's Spanish, so I couldn't actually read the article. I was running it through Google Translate, but they don't attribute where they got that from. They don't say, oh yeah, we called a Nintendo rep. This is the Nintendo quote, so I don't know what that's worth.
After the show, I'm going to make a website. I'm going to put all kinds of Pokemon rumors on it, and then I'm going to send it all to the Reddit, the subreddit, and it's just we're going to be talking about it for the next 2 weeks. You
See,
ready for that?
the worst part is this isn't even just Reddit. This is the big like Nintendo-based publications. This was featured on Reset Era. This is on Nintendo Life. Everybody's talking about this, but there's not a shred of actual evidence to that statement, and it just.
Tell us how you really feel.
No, I think I captured it.
You ready to be a little bit more confused?
No, I'm excited. What? Confused?
No, this is confusing. Shut up your face. Pen and paper games are coming to the Switch? What?
Yep. So it is a little indie game in Japan. It's currently called Matalika. They may change it. Also, I may be butchering that name. I should have put that in the title for you. But yeah, so it's coming. I've made a mistake. It's coming to the Japanese eShop this summer, and it is they call it an escape game. How I read it is it looks like an escape room. If you're familiar with those. I don't know, actually, no. Are those a thing outside of... I don't know. I have no idea how popular those are. Anyway, so the idea is...
They're here, for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if they're outside of here, but...
So the idea is you're stuck in a room, and you've got to solve puzzles to get out of the room. In this particular instance, you get a whole building, and... So the pen and paper bit comes in that you have to print off floor plans of the building that you're attempting to escape, and you use them to plot your getting out. I don't really know how they make that mandatory. So there's a lot of questions in here. They also say, so yeah, the whole pen and paper thing, I don't know how they make that mandatory. I don't know how they make that actually important and something that you actually have to write on and interact with, but I'm really intrigued to see what they do with that. They also say that up to 4 players can participate. But if it's at all what I'm imagining in my head, there's not going to be a good way to cap it. Like, in an escape room, if you have more people, you've just got more people contributing to a problem. Like, that's, there's this puzzle in front of you. Now you've got one person solving it versus 6 people solving it. It's just always going to be easier with 6 people. So I don't really know how they cap this. But again, I'm super intrigued by this idea, and I really want to play it. So, also it'll cost 1,500 yen, which is like 11 or 12 USD. I don't remember off the top of my head. Are you still
also,
confused?
just really quick, I've been in escape rooms with more than what you need, and it doesn't always mean better. Sometimes they're children, and you get 3 codes, and you time it out, and they'll kill 2 codes immediately. Just being children. You're like, wow, contain that before I kill that. Anyway, I'm ready to move on.
Wait. So this game, are you into this game at all? Are you interested?
No, God, no. Absolutely not. First of all, I don't have enough time for this. Second, this is just so not my jam. I'd rather just go do an escape room.
I mean, should also go to escape rooms, but that's not the point. Okay, anyway, moving on.
ARMS demo released in the NA, and I've tried it. Yay.
So 5 characters are available. It is offline only. There's a 1v1 mode and some single player story. Apparently you can use the motion controls in it. I'm pretty sure that you can also use... excuse me. You can also use just standard button controls. And someone didn't like it.
That was me. Yeah, no, I didn't like it. Yeah.
I mean, but again...
There was a tutorial mode, and then there was a fight, and then there was a harder fight. And it was not enjoyable. It just didn't control well.
I mean, honestly, the game naturally kind of controls floaty, in that, like, when you press buttons, you're shooting a fist, and then it takes a moment for that fist to connect and fly. Like, it's a floaty game. And so trying to pair that up with motion controls, I would imagine, would be difficult, because you're trying to hit those, trying to get it to register on the motion in the controller, and it's... So you've got a delayed response because of the controller, and then the game responds delayed because of the nature of the game. So I just think that motion controls are not a good fit.
Way to play it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I might try it later again with buttons. Actually, I deleted it, so no, I won't. I pretty much rage uninstalled that. Like, this is stupid. Why? I'm glad I didn't impulse buy it, but I don't know.
You should download it and try it with buttons, because I do want to hear what you think.
Okay, fine. Giving me homework, whatever.
Just do it.
Okay, fine.
All right. And before you announce this next one, if you don't want Xenoblade 2 spoilers, you should probably skip ahead like 10 minutes or 5 minutes. 3 minutes? I don't know. Call it 5 minutes to be safe, because there are spoilers incoming.
Hey, so we're just gonna pretend like he never said anything. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 story DLC spoilers. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of intrigued in this, even though I didn't beat. Actually, wait, did I sell that game? I think I sold that game. Anyway, the DLC is. It looks like it's basically just going to be a whole new subset of the game. Not like I don't know how they relate it to the main game.
It looks like a mini prequel. Sounds like a mini prequel.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's really cool.
So I'm not really sure how they. Well, let's go through these feature lists. It takes place in the Aegis War. The driver blade mechanic is completely gone. You control Adam, Mithra, help me,
Bridget,
Minith, Laura, and more directly. These characters have a total of 7 arts. Adam cannot upgrade his weapons with core chips. Blade data for Jin, Haze, and Malos has been found, which is confusing because we just said the driver blade mechanic is gone. I don't know.
Well, because they're that hybridy thing where they're both. Also, he's yeah. Don't worry about it. It makes sense. It does.
Okay. It seems that the conduit is the Zohar. It uses Shulk and Fiora from Xeno. What was it called, though?
It was just the first one. Wasn't Shulk just the first one?
Yeah,
I don't know what Fiora's from.
But it wasn't Xenoblade, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
Okay.
I don't know if Fiora's from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, but there was also Xenoblade Chronicles Cross or something in there. I didn't own a Wii U, so I didn't play these.
You weren't the 10 of us. And Shulk has the Monado and uses the I'm really feeling it taunt, so yay for the memes. So this makes sense to you. You understand what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This sounds really cool. It's a little bit confusing because the driver blade mechanic was supposed to have been incorporated from the very beginning of creation, unless I'm misremembering that. But it makes sense because Jin and Malice and all these other blades are kind of hybridy human-y blades, or they're an Aegis, so it's okay for them to not have a driver or a blade of their own. And Haze is actually a person, not a. Yeah, it makes sense. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Go buy it back, start over for the 4th time now, and just finish it this time, and you'll understand. This is a really, really cool DLC. It's basically, from what I understand, going to be a prequel, like a mini prequel, and that's really cool.
So my confusion is that it's going to be fully standalone as far as like character progression and whatnot.
That's a good question. I mean, a lot of these characters you don't have access to. Like Mithra you do, Bridget you do, and yeah, that's it. The rest are people you can't currently play.
Yeah, so it has to be standalone of some form.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
If this predates the game, it actually makes sense that you would lose your progress with them because, you know, when a blade resets, it resets everything.
Yeah.
That it learns, so that makes sense.
That I remember. Just as a side note, listening to you describe the or explain the story kind of is like listening to someone talk about Dragon Ball Z, you know? It's just like, and this happened. Yeah, it's just.
Except it's like, no, it's somewhere between DBZ and Kingdom Hearts. It's not quite as ridiculous as Kingdom Hearts, but it's not quite as simple as Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is just they fight the dude until they win, and then they go fight the next dude until they win that dude.
But sometimes they lose, and then they train, and then they fight the dude and win.
Yeah, that's why I said they fight that dude until they beat that dude.
Okay, my bad.
Sometimes they have to go to the hyperbolic time chamber.
Anyway, coming back on track, I think it has to be standalone, and I think that's cool. Like, I'm into the idea of like a sub 10-hour just little side story. Like, I think that's cool.
I mean, if it's like anything like the Breath of the Wild one, where it's like it added more than 10 hours if you wanted it to. If you just powered through it, it was like 5 or 6. If it's like that, I'm all about it. 5 or 6 to power through, but like 15 if you really want to delve into it.
But again,
I'm all about it.
My confusion lies in this game is inherently an RPG and therefore is inherently about progression. And so taking away all sense of progression, like, I don't know. I will definitely be watching the news for this, not because I care about the game, just because I am curious and that's how I am. So
don't you worry, I'll tell you all about it. I have the season pass.
Oh, did you check that? You do have the season pass?
I mean, even if I don't, I will be getting it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I do really like this game. As much as I don't like it, I also do like it.
I feel like that typifies everything that we talk about. It's like, I don't like this, but also I do.
I mean, it's it's a lot like Fire Emblem for me. There are parts of Fire Emblem that I absolutely love, and there are so many parts that I absolutely hate. But there's enough that I love there that keeps me there. So yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. Anyway, ready to move on?
Yeah.
Nintendo is recreating the Nindies in Japan and calling it Indie World. That's a little American of them, Indie World.
I mean, they probably couldn't use nindies because how do you make a portmanteau of Japanese words? They don't know what a nindie is.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, fair. Okay, fair.
So basically, it's the same idea as nindies. They're trying to just create a brand/banner that they can put all of these in that people can then have a sense of what they're getting out of it. This is notable because Japan and Nintendo's commented on this themselves. Japan doesn't traditionally care too much about indies. They see it as lower quality, whereas in America we tend to see it as or in the West, sorry, we tend to see it as more innovative and like low budget but also interesting. So I'm excited that they're kind of pushing this there. What else do we have? And it's so for the most part it's stuff that has been announced for for the West, but there are two, as far as I could tell, notable exceptions. One of them is Miniko's Night Market, which it looks so good. They described it as Animal Crossing, but with more exploration and adventure aspects, which I can't actually explain how excited that sentence alone makes me.
That sounds a lot like the Moonlighter. Is it like Moonlighter?
It
Where
does.
he like fights in the cave at night and runs a shop during the day?
It does seem to be like that, but it was less. I didn't see any combat in the screens that I saw.
Oh, okay.
So, which on that note, actually, Moonlighter got reconfirmed for 2018, so that's exciting because I'm also into that game.
I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, but yeah. So Miniko's Night Market. It is also going to be released on PC and I want to say the major consoles, but I don't remember. Because who cares? And then the other
major console is Switch. Let's be honest.
Fair enough. And then the other one that I haven't seen a Switch announcement for was Minit, MINIT, which I really like the concept of. It plays like a Zelda top-down action adventure game, but each life is literally a minute long maximum. After a minute, you die. And I really wanted to try it. And then I saw that it looks like a Game Boy game. Like, it actually looks like an OG Game Boy game. And I just went, no, I have no nostalgia for that. Anyway, so those are the two new exceptions, which I'm assuming we're going to get in the West afterwards, just because why would you not? There's obviously already a localization for both of those games. They just need to pull them into the Switch versions. And then there were a couple of ones that I was really surprised they didn't have, especially considering some of the interviews we've seen. So Stardew Valley and Celeste are both going to be coming to Japan soon. Which, given we saw an interview with Sakurai last week, I want to say, where he said that Stardew Valley is like his favorite game that he's massively addicted to. So
it's hard not to be addicted to that game.
But he doesn't even have it in his natural, like his localized store.
Man, they're only like, what is it? Less than 10% of the total market. They're not worthy of Stardew Valley.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, this is a cool thing, and I hope that it brings more success. Not that these indies needed any more help, because a lot of them are just talking about these wild Gold Rush style or Gold Rush level sales that they're doing. So, but maybe some undiscovered game will get picked up in Japan that didn't get picked up in the West, and someone will see success for it.
Some little indie, like maybe like a Harvest Moon or something like that. You know.
Don't talk to me about Harvest Moon. I'm still bitter.
Oh, okay. Let's move on to something that I'm mildly bitter about. Actually, less bitter about now. Wolfenstein confirmed a 23 gigabyte digital download. Okay, you're allowed to put the thing on the front of the cover and not like I'm no longer upset. This is what I originally thought was going to be the case because the PS4 game is 50 gigs. So, who confirmed this? Bethesda or Nintendo?
I didn't actually source this. This was something that...
Or some rando on Twitter, like all those Pokemon rumors. Those are all confirmed too?
There's a guy that I actually follow on Twitter who somehow gets advanced copies of games installed on his Switch. And so you can see, like... Or maybe it's just the preloads.
For like reviewing or whatever?
I don't know how he does it. But he gets the icon, he'll get the download size, and that's it. and I think that he's the original source of this. So,
Okay.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So like, even if they opted for the 16 gig cartridges, that's still a ton that you have to like download. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. I approve of your decisions, Bethesda. And also, this is exactly what I was expecting originally.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only so much you can do with a 50 gig game to turn it into a not 50 gig game.
Yeah, no joke. Like, was Panic Button did a sweet job there getting it below 50%. Like, that's insane.
On that similar note, though, Crash Bandicoot is actually a quarter of the size on the Switch than it is on PS4. So it's definitely a doable thing to compress it hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Wolfenstein is supposed to look more technical, and maybe that's why they couldn't make as many concessions.
Yeah, bigger textures. Probably.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Paladin's data miners found Joy-Con controllers in the PC. That's not where the Joy-Con controllers go. You guys are dumb.
PC code. Sorry, I didn't write the whole thing there. So yeah, just one more tick mark on the Paladins getting a Switch port. It's
And the crowd goes mild.
And the crowd goes mild, exactly. I mean, if I wanted to play Paladins, I would just play Overwatch, but...
Or at least play Paladins on the PC, because, again, shooters... As much as I'm excited for Wolfenstein, I wouldn't play, like, a heroes-based shooter that you play over and over and over and over and over again.
Okay, but wait.
On something like the Switch.
What about the Switch-based Battle Royale, which is coming out in June? Which I did put in here, but I should have.
I mean...
Are you going to play that
I'll
with
play
me?
it because I hate myself.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I have to like it. Or think the controls are any good.
My plan is to get the whole squad going. Let's get a 4-man Battle Royale game.
Am I allowed to skip this next one?
Nope. This is
Why?
important.
No, it's not important. Nintendo Minute plays Sushi Striker multiplayer.
So, if you're not aware, Nintendo Minute is like, there are a couple of Nintendo employees.
It's never a minute.
It's also never a minute, yeah. They're like, I think this one was like 15 to 20 minutes. There's a link in the show notes if you care. And it just, again, I love Nintendo is pushing it so hard. They want this game to be successful so bad. And I still haven't seen anything that compels me to actually care beyond they're just like fervent pushing. And then after watching the video, I still have no idea how the game works. It still makes no sense to me. So
It works exactly like Sakura Sushi downtown in Portland.
Fair enough.
Or Kula here. Yeah. It's just conveyor belt. You just grab what you want off of it and you eat it. And then you pay at the end.
But then you also have to throw them at the other people, which, I mean, honestly sounds like an improvement on Sakurai Sushi to me.
I mean, I don't know what they do in Japan, but in America, we don't throw plates at people.
In America, excuse you? In Texas?
Oh, do you guys... I'm sorry. Do you guys throw sushi at each other in Portland?
If you can dodge a plate, you can dodge a ball.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
And with that very old reference, let's move on.
All right, Minecraft is getting a big update.
So you're about to be sad. I don't know if you've read through this yet, but prepare to be sad. So it's getting the cross-platform play update. It's called the Bedrock version, so you can play with a person on the Android phone, a person on the computer, etc., which I think is cool. They're also adding microtransactions, but it's unclear if those are in-game currency or real money currency. But the idea is that you can buy skins or assets or maybe mods. I don't think they specified mods, but that seems like the logical next step. And then finally, the most important piece, it will also have a physical release for $30.
Yay. I'm not actually upset about that because Minecraft is one of the few games I would rather have digital. Because the idea for me is to have like just a few backup digital games for when I don't have any physicals with me or that I'm tired of all my physicals.
Okay, so if you're like traveling or something and you've exhausted your physicals, okay.
I don't feel like playing Bayonetta 2. What else do I have stored on here? Oh, nothing, because I have physicals. Oh, except for Minecraft, because I can put some hours into Minecraft.
Just randomly, yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And then disconnect from it immediately because I don't care.
Well, that makes me sad. I wanted to needle you over this.
I mean, don't worry. I've already been needled over Sonic Mania, and the second they come out with, oh God, what is it? I'm keeping I subscribe to limited run games for a couple games that I currently have digital. Ukulele, that's what it was. As soon as Ukulele comes out on there, because they talked about it recently, we'll see if that actually happens. But
yeah, big dream.
Anyway, yeah, let's move along. No. You get to say this. What is it?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go with it. Nyclus announces new puzzle fighter alike Crystal Crisis.
So let's spell that just so people that aren't clear. Because, yeah, again, I have no idea how to pronounce this either. It is Nicalis. It's the publisher behind Binding of Isaac, behind Binding of Isaac. I don't know. That's the only one they do that I care about.
They made it twice.
Yeah. I mean, they've made it like 600 times, and I own it in three different places.
Wasn't Super Meat Boy the other one?
No. That's, no.
No, okay.
That was a slightly different company.
Oh.
So they
Anyway.
They announced a new puzzle fighter alike called Crystal Crisis. Yeah, I'm just gonna reread the headline that you've already read because I'm me. I'm excited for this. It is if you've never played a puzzle fighter game, it's basically PvP Tetris. You get little like 2 blocks that drop, and then you have to make combinations of the colors, and then when you collect the colors, it attacks the other player. It's PvP Tetris. It's going to be featuring a bunch of indie characters from Cave Story, Binding of Isaac, Tezuka Productions, Code of Princess EX, and 1001 Spikes. I have no idea what those last 3 are. And then there will also be some originals. And they're doing a very cool thing, which I'm a big fan of, that Shantae did, that if you pre-order, you get like the limited edition version, but it's for pre-orders only, which is awesome. I got an art book and a soundtrack for mine, and I only paid $40. Woo! Anyway, so yeah, this is a thing. I like that this company is branching out. They've only done ports for a very long time, as far as I know. So to see them branching out into more new games is exciting. And also, just a more flashy Puyo Puyo Tetris kind of thing is exciting, because Puyo Puyo is great, but it doesn't really scratch that like weeb itch that I have, and this fully does. And I guess while we're talking about the company, they also announced a 2D fighter last week, which I forgot to talk about, but that's a thing, and I'm excited for it, and it looks great. And it's the same kind of like indie mashup of a bunch of different indie characters kind of thing. So yeah, you should show your fiance
I have
this.
news about your most favorite Nintendo character, your most favorite 2D fighter character of all time. You ready for this? Ariana Grande, as everybody knows, as the Mario's Luigi's sister. Ariana Grande is going to put out a video game made with, or video, not a video game, a video made with Nintendo Labo.
Yeah, so she's doing a music video for one of her songs, and the full band will be performing with Labo stuff. You say why? I say why not?
I mean, why? Okay, yeah, that's fair too, but like that's just the last thing I would have thought of.
So
Ariana Grande.
Apparently she's a bit of a nerd. Like, she's done a lot of nerdy type collabs recently. Most notably the Brave Exvius stuff that I commented on YouTube about. You remember that?
Yep. And I was also confused there.
She has 4 characters in Brave Exvius. Yes.
I didn't know she had that many.
Yeah, 4 different instances. There's a couple of other things she did. God, I saw it. I was reading comments for something, and I saw it, and I can't remember what it was now. In any case, I think it's amazing. I think this is so, like, perfectly hilarious, and I love to see these just weird collaborations that Nintendo's doing with people who don't make any sense, but I mean, like
Sonic and Hooters.
Like, yeah, exactly.
That's become the new show shout out. I have to somehow incorporate that. Instead of Fate Sucks, it's now Sonic and Hooters.
But I just want to see, that one's not fun for me because Fate Sucks is fun for me. Sonic and Hooters just makes me sad because why? Who would do this? Anyway,
Sega, evidently.
On topic. I think this is amazing. It'll be showing tonight on Jimmy Fallon's Late Show, May the 14th, not 4th. Yeah, I will definitely be looking out for that YouTube video, and I will probably be posting it on the Twitter, so follow us on Twitter at Desynced Nerds. Are you going to watch it live? You're going to watch it live.
I'm going to bed right after this because I'm tired.
You're an old man.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, that about wraps us up for the news. There's actually more than I thought there would be.
You want me to participate some more? Okay. Let me just set up this question of the time period for Devon. Are you going to watch the Nintendo E3 presentation? Oh, Graham just went off. It's my bedtime. Your options are going to be yes and live, yes, and hopefully something with commentary from someone. Yes, but I'll watch the VOD, and nope. You can place your votes at bit.ly/DSNpoll30, all lowercase.
This is a thing we do every so often. Love to hear your voice. You can also talk to us on Discord if you want to talk about it, but not vote. Which, speaking of... God, that is loud. Okay, so it is loud for you.
That one, just take that one out of the repertoire.
Such a good sound, though. Anyway, if you want to email the show, you can do so at desyncednerds@gmail.com. If you prefer Twitter, you can tweet at us. We are at desyncednerds or at either of us individually. I'm at KULANAH, Kulana, and he's at DSN Colin. If you want to support the show, we are on Patreon at patreon.com/desyncednerds. If you want to support the show but you can't do so monetarily, you can rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, and we will read them in the section right above this. If you want to catch us live, we record every Monday at 6:30 PST, 9:30 EST, and 2:30 AM on Tuesday in the UK. All of these can be found at twitch.tv/desyncednerds. All of our VODs will be up on YouTube. Our channel is Desynced Nerds. We are also on Discord at bit.ly/DSN Discord, all lowercase. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Peace.